Every time I do one of these, I go way over. So my wife's going to give me the signal if I start to go off a little bit. Now, pretty much everybody here knows me, but those of you who don't know me, I'm Brendan Grubbs. I started Spartan Fitness. It's a personal training company at the end of the hallway here. Now, when I decided to start a company, I wanted to do something. I was going to start a company. I wasn't sure what it was going to be. I have a welding degree. I was going to start a welding business. I decided that would be a pretty good waste of what I've been personally acquiring as far as the information I had over the years, because I started a health journey, I guess about 5 years ago. I was pretty overweight. Felt like crap all the time, always having aches and pains, and just the stuff, what goes with that, just the symptoms of that. So I decided to change, and the more I started researching health and nutrition, the more changes I started to make, and the more changes I started to make, the better I started to feel. And I decided, well, if I could do it, anybody can do it, so what I'm going to do is teach people how to do it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, I started the outline here with a quote by JFK. Physical fitness is not only one of the most important keys to a healthy body, it is the basis to all dynamic and creative intellectual activity. Now I love quotes like that, anything that inspires you, because a lot of people, like myself, don't just wake up every day and say, oh, I'm going to go run today, or I'm going to go to the gym today. You know, it just doesn't happen. You need to be inspired. So stuff like this is stuff that I'm really into. And I would like to think that he knew a little bit about physical fitness. I actually interpret that quote as saying something along the lines of, you know, if you're going to ever work your mind the right way, you've got to have a healthy body first. A healthy body is the basis for all creative intellectual activity. And I think he's right about that. In order for you to travel and explore and go to do things you want to do and to experience different cultures and different people, you got to be healthy. You got to be able to get out there and do it and have the energy to do it, and have the mental aptitude to pay attention to what's going on around you in order to make it all come together. The one thing that all health professionals agree on, whether it be your podiatrist or your therapist or your kid's pediatrician, everybody agrees only on one thing. And there's very few things that they all agree on, but they all agree on the fact that health is the most important thing. It trickles through on every single aspect of your life. Whether your priority right now is your children, or your priority is your work, or your priority is your religion, when you're healthy, it trickles down into all those aspects of your life. So, if you live in a healthy body, you have more energy to teach your kids, to take them out and do the things they need to do, have the energy to help them with their homework, and so on and so forth. If your priority is your job, obviously you're going to immediately benefit from being healthy, because you're going to have the energy to do more things in a certain block of time than the guy next to you is. When you get more efficient at your work, you're worth more money, you get paid more, you get a promotion, so on and so forth. If you're an employer, you're most definitely going to benefit from that, is the way I just described it. Not only that, your employees are all going to be more efficient, so your business is going to be more efficient, and your overhead is going to be low. So it trickles down into all aspects of your life, even into your faith. You know, I understand that faith is a very important thing for a lot of people. So if you don't live in a healthy body, how are you going to have the energy to go out and do the neat things you need to do in order to have a proper faith? You know, if you don't have the energy to serve your church like you should, I mean, that's another reason why you should be healthy. So that's the one thing everybody agrees on. Why isn't it something that people treat like it's important? That's the big thing. No one treats it like it's an important matter. I'm sure people have seen the recent Center for Disease Control statistics. 67% of all non-institutionalized Americans are either overweight or obese. And that's non-institutionalized Americans. I mean, that means it doesn't include the prisons, the nursing homes, the state hospitals, and everything like that. So if you were to actually include those numbers, it would be much higher. But 67% of all non-institutionalized Americans are overweight. And what I like to say, you know, I always have conversations with people about getting fit. And I was talking to Melanie one day.
Sunday?
I talk to Melanie a lot, but one day I was talking to Melanie, and you know, we reasoned the fact is it's not that people don't have discipline. It's the reason why they're not healthy or they're not in shape. That doesn't have anything to do with it. Everybody has discipline in their own way. Most of us, we get up every day and we brush our teeth first thing. First thing in the morning, we brush our teeth. Why do you think it is that we do that? We fear the consequences of not brushing our teeth, right? So why don't we fear the consequences of not living in a healthy body. That's the main thing. That's what I'm getting at. It's not necessarily a motivational problem. It's not necessarily a discipline problem, because we all have discipline in our own way. Even people that are out of shape still get up, they comb their hair, they put on their makeup, they do what they need to do to get to the day because they fear the consequences of not doing that. But it should trickle down into the consequences of not living in a healthy body. And the most common thing is when something is important, when something you need to do is very important, and you don't know how to do it, well, the first thing you do is that you ask somebody. Whether you're stranded in a parking lot, you don't know how to jumpstart your car, which most of us do. But if that was the case, the first person that walked by, you would ask them how to jumpstart your car if you didn't know how to do it. And that's how it should be with health too. It's very important. And I always compare it to flying a plane. If you're going to learn how to fly a plane, the last thing you want to do is crash into the side of a mountain. So what you want to do is hire a really good flight instructor, not your barber, not your dentist, not something like that. You want to hire somebody that you're sure is not going to crash you into the side of a mountain. And I think that's where it should come in, to where if you don't know how to do something, you should always get someone who knows how to do it well. So for those of you who know me well, know that I look at health in not just a physical way, but a spiritual and philosophical way. And I think it's important to do that, because when you look at health in just a physical way, you're treating a symptom. There's always a root cause for health. And it's normally not just what's going on immediately around you, it's something else. There's a reason why people aren't healthy. So if you were to go to a doctor with chronic headaches, and he spots an operable brain tumor, but he gives you some aspirin, he says, well, we're going to deal with the headache, not the tumor. That doesn't make any sense. You got to take the damn tumor out. You can't just go on treating the headache. You got to treat the cause. And I'm not saying that I'm a psychologist or anything like that. But if I'm going to properly motivate any person, I have to know what makes you tick. I have to know what drives you every day in order to make you come and do a workout that's really going to benefit you more than just going to the gym and getting on the treadmill for a half hour. Because anybody can do that. Now, before I go any further, I'd like to say that I live in the gym. A couple people here know that. You see me there every time you're in there. So I'm not bashing gyms. It takes a certain kind of person to benefit from a gym, though. And that's the first little graph on your piece of paper there. Now, these gym goer statistics here. And by the way, I'm keeping this as factual as possible. This is not opinionated at all. These are just facts, and that's the way I want to keep it. Opinions really don't matter when it comes to science and health. So, gym goer statistics. Now, 62% out of everybody with a membership only goes 1 to 3 times a month. So you're paying for the membership and you're not going because it's a convenience issue. Or it's a motivation issue, but you got the membership, and that's not the deal. The deal is, these people actually aren't going enough times to make it work. So that's a big number, and that's 62 out of every 100 people not using the towels, not running the water, not wearing down the machines, and that's where gyms make the majority of their money, is by this big number of people right here. Now 26 out of every 100 people go 1 to 3 times a week. That is enough time to make a substantial difference in your health, but the problem is most of these people don't know what to do. They go in and they assume, like most people assume when you want to get in shape, that you go into the gym and you go in the treadmill. I'm going to go to treadmill half hour today, half hour tomorrow, half hour Friday, and then that'll be it for the week. Wrong answer. The treadmill is good, don't get me wrong. It works the most important muscle in your body, which is your heart, but it's not by any means going to get you into the shape you need to be. The reason for that is, during any cardiovascular exercise, your body's going to want to be more efficient at that exercise, and the only way to do that is to make less area for your blood to travel through when your heart's pumping. And there's 2 substances on your body that can be excess. One is fat, but the other is muscle. So if you're doing too much cardiovascular exercise, chances are